Today is Saturday, March 28th, 2026. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is the listener feedback show for Survivor 50 Week 5.
2 shows a week. Recap on Wednesday. Listener feedback with the super fans on Saturday.
Woo-hoo.
You betcha. Sitting here, we're admiring the roster. We're studying it and trying to get some ideas. Really need some help to figure out what's coming next. And I'm curious to see what people thought of the double elimination. Is there any business to go over?
Not that I can think of, than...
Okay.
I did think of something.
I did too. Go ahead.
The scores from last week, I noticed there were some people that noticed that they didn't get the full 6 points right at the beginning, but that was just an error, and that has been updated. So if you notice that you got both vote-offs correct and only got 5 points, that's been corrected. So no problem, just a little snafu.
Okay. Good stuff. But mine was, they said we're headed into a merge, and merge is when you get to make a change, a choice. You have a choice in JSFL. So it's nothing that we're doing this week, but I just want to give everybody a heads up that it's coming. After the next episode, you'll have an opportunity to change your USB. What? You're thinking if you're going to change yours or not?
No, I'm thinking we never announce that the week before because people get confused and start trying to change it.
Okay.
So
you can't do it this week.
You cannot change it until
the merge happens.
After the merge happens.
Right. After it has happened.
The week after.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully I didn't confuse everyone. Anything else?
No.
Let's get started. We're going to kick it off with Pete.
This is Pete from Boston calling here. Whoa, baby. Now, last week, even though it was an epic blindside, but it was a little bit of a dud because of the Zach Brown reward, which overtook a lot of airtime. This was anything but a very good double boot blindside episode. So let's let out a huge... Baby, that was awesome. Even though one of them was, you could argue, was anticlimactic, and it was the same team that went to every tribal. Who's it? Hubicki, Emily, is it Emily and Ozzy? I think the ones that have been to every tribal, like what Steph was in Palau. So my head was scratching, though. Even though it was unanimously Angelina, the second David versus Goliath, and you could argue Hubicki got revenge with her and Mike White. But it looked like it might be Hubicki giving his shot in the dark to Ozzy. You know, Ozzy flip-flopping, talking to Emily, and Steph wanting to get rid of Christian because he was upset about not knowing about the Mike White blind side. The editing was real good, but Angelina was unanimously voted out, and she did her Natalie Cole thing there from her season. But instead of asking for the jacket, as Ozzy said, it made it full circle and gave it to her tribe for warmth. I thought that was classy, and she went out gracefully. Didn't look like she was too upset like Mike White was. But Charlie, boy, the complete opposite. That was a legit blind side for sure. The men there, Big Jonathan, and my man Devin's no clue at all. And again, you could say this might have been Black Widow 2.0 with Rizzo. Cerie, Rizzo, Camilla, and D, all blindsiding Charlie. It reminds me almost of the Micronesia thing with how Ozzy was blindsided with an idol. Now, I know Charlie had no idol, but man, I think what hurt him again, kept getting into it with Rizzo, and too much of the Maria crap. He just couldn't get over it. And mentally, and that was it for Charlie. I really got to hear his interviews. I think he's going to be so bitter. Bet she hasn't talked with Rizzo or maybe any of those women like G from his season. Remember, him and G might have had it out for each other too, because they were both on the Pope's podcast before. Saria's looking good. Rizzo somehow is in a good spot too, and he's got the idol. Looks like we got the merge coming next week, or will it be whoever loses goes? Because I'm pulling for this Colby Joe Coach alliance. Good for Coach, he's in with everybody, trying not to get cocky, but I'm worried for those strong men, even Aubrey. Love to see Colby getting back with Steph, and if Ozzy and Coach are together with this merge, and Christian, Hubicki, and Devin. So a lot to look forward to next week, guys. But this was an awesome episode. I'm digging 50. I think it's living up to some expectations for sure, and we want more. Well, let's see if there's any good extra clips, guys. But gotta hear the interviews, though. I think Angelina will be good, but Charlie, I think, is bitter. Let's see. Take care. Woo.
Whoa. Yeah, Charlie was not bitter. He was really even-keeled about the whole thing. He said he understood that they sometimes need to choose certain scenes for the edit, for the story they're wanting to tell. And yeah, it was a thing. He said being back out there, it sort of dropped him right back in the frame of mind as he was in when he left. So
that was obvious.
That was real. He said he was definitely flashing back and having some in his emotions.
Yep.
But that wasn't the only thing, and certainly he had different conversations. And he said that he and, who was it? Oh, he and Mike White were kind of in the middle in the original Kahlo group. He said that Tiffany and Dee and Camilla were targeting Chrissy early on. He said if they had gone, he was pretty sure Chrissy was going to go.
Yeah,
and likewise, Chrissy was targeting them. So the women were battling, and he said he and Mike were kind of floating in the middle, and so maybe that was why he didn't get a good connection with Dee and Camilla. But he was blindsided too. And Angelina is the one that's bitter. She came off as much more bitter, and she had a lot to say about how the women are being edited this season. And she is bad-mouthing Christian similarly to the way Mike was. So she obviously wasn't happy with how Mike got booted
or how it feels.
Yeah.
You didn't like how it felt, Angelina?
Yeah. Like Pete was talking about, Christian got some revenge. Yeah. It was their turn. And
boo-hoo.
They didn't manage it too well. But she's got valid points. So we've been talking about that, how little airtime Tiffany's gotten.
That's true.
And Chrissy was saying the same thing. They've got time to show whoever it was, Devins or Jonathan farting, but they can't get more confessionals with the women in this season. And Angelina did get voted out and did not get featured, she didn't get her flowers for an episode where she went, for sure. So that part's valid. But yeah, I would say it was a little flip-flop from what Pete was thinking it was going to be in terms of who was bitter, who wasn't. Charlie came off really well.
Well, he probably knows that by now. He's probably listening.
Yep, good stuff. Thanks, Pete. Next up, we got a call from Rebecca.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy, and all my Survivor superfan friends. This is Rebecca calling from her last day on Oahu before returning to Northern California in the morning. And oh boy, the marriage I did not see coming this season was the beautiful union between Suri and Rizzo. They are quite a surprise. And I think Rizzo's going to be so much better this season than his compatriot Savannah. I actually really appreciated Rizzo's gameplay this episode up until the point where he got so braggadocious. He knew he was locked in. He knew he was sending Charlie home, and he just started bragging so much about his season 49. I was clocking Camilla's expressions, and I was thinking, oh my God, little boy, don't blow this. Don't make them vote against you because you sound like you're bragging so hard in Riz boy. I won't call you Riz God. Riz boy, don't stop, come back. It was quite interesting to see him hook up with some of the old school players who were so happy to work with him. That was just really cool. I felt bad for Charlie. He made his whole game about trying to get Rizzo out because he voted out as number one on Kahlo. I really enjoyed watching Coach reach out to Kobe and Joe and give them those fabulous nicknames. I think if Coach gave me a nickname, it would be something like wandering yet always forgetting things bicyclist. I am the queen of walking into a room and going, what did I come in here for? I like Coach a little bit more. He's rubbing off on me. He's cute. He has a lot to say. I like the dynamic between him, Kobe, and Joe, and I really hope they go very far too. I really do. I liked Aubrey better this episode. I like that she reached out to Coach and again found an old school alliance to play with. I think this is going to serve her well and get her out of this slow, slumpy start that she's been experiencing. On Vatu, I was very happy to see that Ozzy, for the most part, let it all go and voted with his allies. And I was happy he did because I had Angelita and I had Charlie as my vote outs this week. Yeah, I was glad that Ozzy kind of let it go. Boy, was he butthurt at first, but he moved through it. And he did okay. And it was kind of interesting when he was like, if you give me your shot in the dark, I will trust you. Good on all of them that they came together. And I cannot believe that it seems like it's a merge next episode. Doesn't it seem like there's a lot of players? I have no idea what's going to happen next episode. How do we figure this one out? It's going to be interesting. That's all I can say. Maybe they separate them into two teams and we do a weird earn the merge again. Talk about shot in the dark. Shot in the dark for JSFL. Trying to figure out who the vote off is. Well, I've had a lovely winter on Oahu. I was able to pay off a whole bunch of credit cards, raise my credit score 100 points, change my eating habits, and drop 10 pounds. Going home tan, brown, and strong, baby. Think you'd all be proud. Yes, you would all be proud. Especially Drew, because he works out all the time. And I worked out like a beast this winter. I hope everyone's doing great. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Joanne and Stacy. And can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say. Bye.
Right. Safe travels. Thanks, Rebecca. And if you're enjoying Coach, there was a deleted scene with him. So that's worth checking out if you need some more Coach in your life.
You know, I don't know if I talked about this in the recap or not, but you could have knocked me over with a feather when Sari shared with Rizzo. Yeah. And she was talking about how much he was giving her, how much he was and how much she trusted. I'm like, Sari, honey, wake up.
Yeah, you lost a step.
Don't change. Don't go there. Don't trust him. I thought, I play with him, sure, but keep your eyes wide open.
She was very skeptical.
And don't share with anyone.
Very skeptical in the preseason about him. She seems to have completely lost that.
She had an attitude about him even.
I know.
Rizzo.
I know people called Rizzo from Jersey. They're trouble.
But anyway, my thought is, please don't let Rizzo win. Because he will be the most. Oh, can you imagine what that would do to his ego?
There's a lot of Rizzo feedback in the episode here today, so.
I just thought, oh, no. That would just be unbearable. I'll support it. If he gets there and he wins it, then good on you. But just think how unbearable forevermore he will be.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Thanks, Rebecca. Next up, we got a call from Ryan.
Hello, Joanna, Stacy, and all of Survivor fandom. This is Ryan from Central Iowa, calling with my week 5 feedback. This was a good week. I think it was down from the past few weeks. I think it was a really slow episode, so leading up to the immunity challenge. Top moments for me. I'm still a huge Coach fan. He's my kryptonite, but I thought him handing out names was kind of fun. But I think deeper than that, he's playing a different game. What he needed to do this time around was to stay still, to not run around, not make waves, and to let people come to him and make alliances that way. And you can see and hear from him, he's still kind of fighting that. He's pushed down the Dragon Slayer, but he seems to be doing a good job with it. and I like it. I love to see him connect with Aubrey, make an alliance with Coach and the rest of his group. What a disappointing season for Charlie. I had really high hopes for him, but it seems as if he just couldn't get out of his own way. He did share in an exit interview that he had heard after the season was done. Apparently, Dee and Rizzo had a pre-gaming FaceTime conversation. This was from Soph. Soph shared that with him. Number 3, Rizzo is annoying as ever. He and his game remind me of a Seinfeld episode where George is explaining what his dating style is. He says that I'm like an annoying jingle that gets in your head. At first you can't stand it, but after a couple of dates you find yourself saying it all the time. Costanza, and it seems like that is what Rizzo is. I don't know. Rizzo. And lastly, this episode showed me that I think we may have another Black Widow alliance. There's just something about this Dee, Cirie, and Camilla alliance that is roped in Rizzo, that Rizzo thinks he has created, and maybe he did, I don't think he did, but it feels like there's this Black Widow alliance happening. Part 2. Cirie is already a part of a Black Widow alliance at one point, and now we have Dee and Camilla who seemingly have this type of game, willing to lie and cheat their way in or whatever it's going to be, but do they let Rizzo hang along and be with him and then slit his game when they don't need him? My game up person of the week is Aubrey. She seems to be finding some footing in the game, and she has an idol. My game down is Christian. As much as I love Christian and I want him to go far, he needs to find a new alliance structure in this merge, or he's going to be in trouble. And if I had to pick a winner as of today, I'm going with Coach. He's playing really solid, kind of under the radar, getting enough screen time, and he's building a really solid core alliance. So that's what I think. That's what I'm going. How about you guys?
Coach. That's a way to pick a good controversial question. I would say he's not annoying people. He's not like making lots of enemies.
Well, from the extra video we just watched, they are straight up using him as entertainment.
Yes.
And they don't care. I
On
mean,
purpose,
even
yeah.
Tiffany's like, yeah, whatever. And they don't care if the stories are true or anything else. They're bored. They have no TV. And they're like, okay, well. And Colby's like, all you have to do is ask Coach a question. And that'll be at least 30 minutes of entertainment.
With the exception of Ozzy, he is not making enemies. So, yeah, I guess he's on the path. I guess it is a possibility. So, final 2, Rizzo and Coach, huh? Who are you going to choose then? Thanks, Ryan. Next up, we got an email from Mary in Maryland. Great episode. It was an exciting challenge and interesting to finally see a different tribe at Tribal Council. I predicted Ozzy's reaction towards Christian as well as that he would soften towards him after blowing off steam and eventually calmly plotting to vote him out. I'm glad Christian was safe after all. I want to learn more what turned Ozzy's mind towards voting for Angelina. Angelina leaving has no impact for me or the game. I don't feel she influenced things one way or another in this game and wasn't particularly interesting to watch.
I agree.
Stephanie's been playing smart and is in a good position with Ozzy. I think at the merge, she will link back up with Colby, joining Joe and Coach in the Integrity Alliance. Poor Charlie. I'm a fan of his and wanted to see him do well, but Rizzo ran circles around him. I love that the group of guys thought Dee and Camilla are fully with them. I'm loving the Dee, Cirie, Camilla, and Rizzo alliance. Looks like Devins and Jonathan are now on the outs with the women and Rizzo voting together. Camilla's such a smart and thoughtful player. I'm a big fan of hers. Rizzo's talking too much, and I'm afraid that will get him in trouble. Looking forward to everyone else's feedback. It's been an exciting season so far, and I'm excited for next week. Thanks, Mary. Good job. Yeah, I'm excited too. Next up, we got a call from Sandy.
Hi, guys. This is Sandy from Atlanta, where the pollen count is 9 million. Anyway, I have some things I want to say about tonight's Survivor. First of all, can Christian just be a permanent player in every season? I enjoy him so much, and he he's just a pleasure to see on my screen and to look at his strategy. And also, this is another one. Can Jonathan just walk around the island every once in a while on an episode with the little rope thing he has? That would be great. I love that. That'd be a new Survivor. Then the immunity challenge was tough because you can't just rely on being second. You're going to tribal too. Second is a loser. So I really love that. I love that it was a nail biter ending. Now, Ozzy had a little fit when they got back from tribal council last night, but you know what? He has changed. He has scars and wounds, but that also brings wisdom. And I think that maybe Survivor's looking at a new archetype like Sari. She was playing the old way. Now she's decided she's going to play kind of a new way. So we'll see how that works out for her. And, there's Coach knighting people. Oh, please. Can we go back and erase Coach, please? Jeff's been practicing these caricatures, and he's pretty good at it. And at Tribal Council, did anybody watch Christian talk but couldn't stop looking at the hair in his eyes? I swear my mother was in my head. Get that hair out of your eyes. And Angelina got her reputation reversed, so good for her. Now her Survivor career can be over. I'm tired of seeing her. I'm also tired of seeing Chrissy. Does anybody think she's playing for the camera a little bit? Anyway, I thought it was a great episode. Can't wait for next week. And if I don't do this right now, I'll never get it to you. So hope everyone's having a good time. Don't come to Atlanta. We should just have yellow tape all around the state. Okay, see you later. Bye.
Thanks, Sandy. Yeah, the pollen count's off the charts, especially in North Georgia. It's bad here, too. It just keeps dusting everything outside. I foolishly went out to try to get some of the pollen off the windshield, and by the time I would spray the water on one part, it was covered again from the other. My mistake was it was a little windy. That was the...
Yeah,
if I'd caught a little bit of a break, but it wasn't when I started. But yeah, I was just laughing at myself by the time I had washed got around the whole car, and I was like, it's covered again. Well, okay, there you are.
Just put the car in the garage.
Yep,
So,
that's what I did.
yeah.
Yep, sorry it's hitting you so hard there, Sandy. Next up, got a call from Lauri.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy and all the Survivor fans. This is Lauri from Sacramento. It's the first time I've called into the show and my first season playing JSFL. I'm really frustrated with tonight's episode. I was hoping that Fatu would finally win, but nope. I thought the immunity challenge seemed kind of easy compared to the last couple that were so heavy on strength. I've been worried for the last week about Christian because I really enjoy him and I saw how mad Ozzy was, but he did a great job of getting Ozzy back, which saved him, I believe. Look at Ozzy playing Survivor. The Sela vote was the one that I did not like. I don't like Rizzo. I did not like him in season 49. I think he's overconfident and he just talks about how great he is too much. I kept saying last season that Rizzo had to be really good at convincing people to do what he wanted because he always seemed to get the vote to go his way. They did show that a little bit more this week, which I guess makes him a good social player. And surprisingly, Sari fell for his antics. Rizzo also seems to be enthralled with Dee, who always uses her sex appeal and lies to get what she wants. I think she's way overrated and hope she goes out soon. I'll really miss Charlie and hope to see him play again in future seasons. Whatever happened to flushing idols? I was hoping the idol antics of Rizzo would backfire on him finally. I guess I'll have to continue to hope and wait. Jeff doing impressions, didn't really care for it at Tribal, although I think they were pretty good. Thank you, Joanne and Stacy. I look forward to your podcast every week and the listener feedback too. Bye-bye.
All right, and welcome, Lauri. Good job.
Next up, we got a call from Trish.
Good morning, Joanne, Stacy, and JSFL Group. This is Trish from North Carolina, speaking on week 5. Finally, I've started recording several times, and I've just gotten distracted along the way. I've enjoyed this season for the most part. I have struggled a little bit trying to understand all the merges, understand existing relationships. I have enjoyed seeing Camilla's Faces. I've really enjoyed Cerie. I've enjoyed the Boy Alliances. Wanted to talk on Rizzo. I think if I were on the island with him, I'd want to keep him around. He's talkative, he's really funny, and there's not a lot to do in 24 hours. And he's not going to win, so why not keep him around for a while? Love that Genevieve found the idol and gifted it to him. And then I realized later she doesn't even know about his relationships with idols. I wonder if production had anything to do with this. Maybe encouraged her to give it to him. And I thought for sure that this was setting up for him being outed this last week. That would have made sense, right? Anyway, glad he's still around. But wanted to comment on what I think the game changer is going to be for this next episode. And what I hope to see is that they're going to bring all 17 survivors into a tribal council and have them immediately vote for somebody, maybe a la traitor style with a slate board. Before discussion, take the top 5 vote getters and then vote for them. Will they pick one? Will they pick 2? Will they pick all 5? But imagine the chaos with 17 people speaking. How many live tribals are we going to get with that? Really looking forward to this. I really appreciate you, Joanne and Stacy, and everybody else doing all the great work here. And have a great week, everyone. Oh, wanted to also make a comment that I will be at the Rob Has a Podcast Atlanta show on Wednesday. So if anyone's going, make a comment in the Facebook group and we'll try to get in touch. Thanks.
Oh, excellent.
Cool.
Good idea. Thanks, Trish. Good job. Next up, got an email from Scott and Mary in New Jersey.
Hello, Joanne, Stacy, and fellow Survivor fans. Mary got both vote outs correct,
Go, Mary.
but by luck, not by her reasoning, Mary thought Vatu would vote out Angelina to placate Ozzy. She thought Charlie would fall victim to Rizzo's playing his idol. That's what I thought too. So Scott got Charlie correct, but had Emily going home from Vatu. He's going to pick Emily every week until she's gone. Mary is currently tied for second in JSFL with 26 points, and Scott is trailing at 23. Things are going to get interesting if this is a true merge at 17. Will all make the jury?
No, I don't think so. I don't know for sure, but I don't think so.
Thank you.
Voice of authority.
Okay, let's go back to the feedback. Will the Integrity Alliance realize Coach is less than honorable, even though he knighted them with nicknames? Will Devins and Christian get back together? Will they finally cut Emily loose? We have no idea how things are going to play out. Scott hopes they don't allow Rizzo to play his idol games and realize he is someone not to be trusted. Mary is waiting to hear input from the other superfans to help guide her picks. Wishing it was Wednesday already, but looking forward to the feedback show to hold us over. Thanks for all you do. Okay, and thank you, Scott and Mary, or LeBeau and Scary, as they're called in
Scary
JSFL.
Mary. Yeah, good deal. Good job. Next up, got a call from Anderson.
I'm from North Carolina, calling from the beautiful island of St. Lucia on my spring break. I did not get to catch the episode, but I saw who got voted out. And once again, I'd like to remind everyone, go check Kelsey if you want to get your vote out picks right. I checked Kelsey and got both my vote outs. I'm third place in the side challenge. I missed 4 points all season. And it's because I didn't check Kelsey. Or it's just because I forgot to make my picks. Either one. But anyways, don't gamble. I'm not betting any money. Don't worry. I just checked the odds. Yeah, so don't gamble, people. In other news, I love Survivor, and I've been listening to a bunch of the other podcasts and your podcast recently, and I have to say, from what I've heard, Rizzo had a great episode yesterday, and I think he will be one of the targets going into the merge because of his big move. Another big target going into the merge will probably be Aubrey and possibly Ozzy. But I gotta get this in really fast because got bought for the deadline and I'm flying home today. I will listen to the listener feedback and watch the episode next Wednesday. Tune in Thursday morning to your recap show. Thanks again for everything y'all do. So until next time. Bye.
Excellent. Good job. Thanks, Anderson. Appreciate you calling in from vacation, from spring break. I think Aubrey might be okay. And that's because she made a connection with Tiffany. And Tiffany's going to reconnect with Dee and Camilla, who also have Sari and Rizzo. That's some big numbers starting to pick up there. I think she's going to have some cover. And then there's a potential.
She could also go with the guys, Coach, Colby, Joe.
She's going to have options, yes.
Yes.
And there's a potential connection with Christian and Rick, whole sending the idol thing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how all these different connections reform.
They were hoping that she'd get voted off without it, so
you can't know what was in Christian's heart or Rick's, since he's the one that's supposedly sent it. It's like, yeah, it has that property, but we thought you really needed it, so we thought it was worth the risk. You were our choice. That's really all you need to say to her, and you're golden.
We wanted to work with you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks again, Anderson. Next up, we got a call from Drew.
Hey, Joanna, Stacy. Hey, everyone. This is Drew. Just calling in kind of close from my latest, or from my more recent pattern of behavior here. But early Saturday morning, we got a lot to do today. So kids just reminded me actually of Survivor. So I was like, well, I'm going to call in my feedback. So it was a good episode. So I just don't like the final result. And I say final result because there were two results this episode, right? I didn't mind the first one. I think she left with pretty good, like a good sport and composure. I actually thought the jacket thing was really funny. I had to explain it to the kids because they don't remember or know Angelina from before. But I don't like the Rizzo versus Charlie thing didn't play out very long, but it was still a very unsatisfying conclusion, and I do feel really bad for Charlie. I don't know, guys. I felt really bad for him the first time. I think he's been kind of yanked around. I feel like there's this kind of underlying edge to him this time that he's just kind of jaded a little bit, and I think this isn't going to help. I feel like if they asked him, he wouldn't come back, because I think he's had a couple of pretty harrowing experiences now. So who knows? Maybe he'd see it as some redemption. But also Rizzo, I can't stand him. So he's just talking himself up, but then like the way things work out, it seems to manifest the way he expects. So I don't like that for me. For watching him. If that makes sense. I just had Rizzo and Ozzy to go, and one was because I wanted it, and one was because I was afraid of it. And then neither of them were, even though one of them was close. So I don't know, lots of directions this one could have gone, especially, but I liked having a double elimination. I always think that's kind of fun to accelerate the game and the process. But I really was afraid that Ozzy was going to just slip out and either have to get taken out or turn everyone against Christian. I'm just glad it didn't work out either of those ways. So, yeah, good challenge. Good to get some gameplay. Good to see a couple more of the players that have been kind of quieter, and looking forward to next week. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Bye.
Thanks, Drew. Yeah, it's interesting to get all the different perspectives on Rizzo this season. See how that's going. Good deal. Next up, got a call from David.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy, it's David in Pittsburgh. Well, it was almost in the mid-80s on Sunday, and it's now in the low 40s on Saturday. So what can I say? This is what we call a typical spring week in Pittsburgh. I always like to watch Survivor twice before I call you, because usually when I'm watching the episode the first time, I'm so tense, I can't take notes. I'm just so focused on the gameplay. And then the second time I go back and for a closer look, and I get to see the strategy. And also there are a lot of laughs that I didn't get the first time around. First, the laughs. Coach anointing his people. I laughed through the whole thing, but at the same time, there was a tear in my eye. It's just Coach. That's who Coach is. He's TV gold, and I love the connection that Aubrey made with him. Then there's a scene when Ozzy's going on and on and on about loyalty, and Christian just looks at the camera, breaks the fourth wall, and makes this great look. And of course, anytime the Sari giggles, I always have to laugh. As for the strategy, I'm not sure what was going on in that scene between Charlie and Rizzo when Charlie wakes him up early in the morning and asks him if he told anybody about the Billie Eilish idol. I get him asking Rizzo, but then when Rizzo asks the question in return, why did Charlie have to lie to him? Why didn't he just say, I haven't told anyone? Or maybe he did tell him, but he did say he told Jonathan. And of course, as soon as he said it, Rizzo didn't believe him. Oh, and by the way, I love the game that Rizzo's playing. I don't find him as obnoxious as a lot of fans seem to, but again, he always takes a little step too far. That scene with Camilla where he's telling her, oh, Kyle told me this, Kyle told me that, and right away she's like, wait, is this guy on the level? So he always goes a little bit too far. And I love Sela's tribal council whenever he's spouting about when pen goes to parchment and then you're going to know where the votes are going to go, how you plan your game, blah, blah, blah. And then the votes come in and Rick and Jonathan look at each other dumbfounded. Well, now you know where the votes are going to go, guys. Christian's my USB. I'm getting very concerned about all the screen time he's getting. I know he's getting a lot because he's a great narrator, but it's just getting me really, really concerned that his game's going to be cut short. I don't see anybody else getting as much screen time as he is. Love this season. Can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Excellent. Thanks, David. Next up, we got an email from Matt and Summer from East Tennessee. Hey, Joanne and Stacy. Well, looks like we're finally into the vortex with double eliminations now. We both looked at each other with 10 minutes to go and realized there was another tribal council coming up. We wondered how there would be enough time for one. I guess now we know. No surprise that Vatu remains the disaster tribe. Seems like no matter what they do, they can't catch a break. While we were glad to see Angelina go, we're having a hard time seeing where Christian is going to hide from Ozzy. Game-changing development next week or not. Charlie, 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 what are we ever going to do with you? We sure hope it's the edit or maybe the starvation, but he seems a different player from the last time out. And a different person from his time on Fire and some of the other podcasts. Might have been good if he could have gotten some wisdom from Sari on putting things in perspective. Hope he manages to put this behind him. Rizzo is either a mastermind or the luckiest contestant we've seen in a while. Now that we think about it, we hope it's the edit or the starvation that is working on him too. Some of his dialogue in confessionals seems almost delusional. On to Joe. He seems like the sort of guy that wants to be the best by beating the best, and he got his wish with the head-to-head challenge with Ozzy and Jonathan. Credit where credit is due. He came through this time. The only thing is there will be more times coming up, and not sure Ozzy and or Jonathan will get caught out again. Now that the double eliminations have started, we will really have to put our thinking caps on to make our predictions, especially if there's some sort of mass merge taking place. Oh, almost forgot. Jeff's impressions were quite good and a nice departure from the normal course of tribal council, but we're not holding our breath for him to make a habit of it. Looking forward to what the other superfans have to say. Thanks for all you do, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks, Matt and Summer. Good job. Next up, we got a call from Parker.
Hey, it's Parker from Indiana, and again, I thought this was a pretty solid episode. And I'm pretty sad to see Charlie go. I think, he kind of got in his own way a little bit, but I don't think there was much of a reality where Dee and Camilla were really going to go up to bat for him. So he was kind of in a tough spot, but it was sad to see him go. And of course, I'm a certified Riz God hater, so it was a bummer to see him stick around. But hey, if Riz God is going to give Sari numbers, then so be it, I guess. And then we got Angelina going, which I'm a certified Angelina hater as well. And so that was very satisfying for me. She's gone. And you know what? She really didn't do anything this season. I think that she did grow a lot from David vs. Goliath. She came in with self-awareness. However, that self-awareness led to her being boring and not making the same dumb mistakes she did the first time, which got her airtime. And like Q said in his exit press, apparently she was playing up a lot of stuff for cameras, rubbed him the wrong way, and maybe it rubbed production the wrong way, and they knew that she was playing stuff up for cameras, and they just didn't need that because she wasn't that important to the story. Her whole giving away a jacket thing was super cheesy, and now she's going on a tirade about how unjust the editing is, which I think she certainly has a point with Tiffany and Camilla of it all getting such bad edits. Even Stephanie hasn't gotten all that much. So the women are getting less content than the men for sure. However, when Angelina Keeley says that, I don't know. I just feel like she's just mad that she got voted out early and she got a bad edit. I don't think she really is sticking up for the other women. She just makes everything about her. I think it's just like Mike White. I think that she's just mad that she got duped by Christian, who they were able to get out in David vs. Goliath, and she had the satisfaction in David vs. Goliath of having more confessionals than him, so she could call herself a narrator, and she thought it was blasphemous that he called himself a narrator because she ended up with more confessions. It's a whole thing, and I think she's just full of herself, and I don't really care. And I'm used to Australian Survivor editing with 24 people. And let me tell you, this is way better because in Australian Survivor, which this is when it annoys me that people make the argument that it's so much better than US Survivor, because it's not. Because you're going to have 5 people with confessional counts in the hundreds. Keep in mind, double the episodes, longer episodes. Yeah, just more time to get to know everybody all together. But half the cast is getting 0 confessionals, okay? So we're doing better than that, at least. Next week, I'm very worried for what cockamamie scheme Jeff is going to pull up. 17 people merge, in theory, sounds awesome. However, I do not think we're going to get 17 people voting together at Tribal Council. I don't think we're going to get 17 people playing in a challenge together. I think it's going to be so disappointing. It's going to be something crazy. Cerie's going to go home because of some weird mechanic that they make up. Who knows? Maybe just like half the people that lose the challenge go home tonight. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's probably going to be terrible, and we're cooked. So that's going to be awful. But yeah, we'll cry about that next week. That's all I got. I will see you all next time.
Way to end on a high note. That's another way to look at it. I can put up with Rizzo if he helps keep Sari in the game. So that was another perspective there.
Yeah, I agree.
Good deal, Parker. And I am one of those who thinks the Australian version has been superior for quite a while now. You shocked me when you said differently.
Well, maybe not better than this season.
Oh, this is good. But what is this? This is like Australian Survivor without all the extra time, like he said.
Yeah.
Which is part of what makes it better.
Yeah.
All the things that were beneficial that he was highlighting.
But he's also entitled to his opinion.
As we all are. Good deal. Thanks, Parker. Next up, we got a call from Kim.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor fans. This is Kim from North Carolina. There was a good interview with Zach Brown on the NPR morning show several weeks ago. He is quite resilient, had some life experience as a young person, and basically singing and guitar saved him. But I would have preferred to have more time with the tribe and not quite as much Zach Brown time. This is obviously tied to the big publicity campaign that everybody talked about last week with regard to his show during the March Madness tournament. Like many people, I got a vote off point for Angelina. I guess that one was pretty obvious, but I put Rizzo to go instead of Charlie. I have to begrudgingly admit that that was a good move on Rizzo's part to get up with Sari, and she seemed to be so taken in. I felt like y'all did that felt a little problematic. Mm-hmm. But hopefully she and Camilla can team up together. And now we're going to have a merge, and it's just going to be a free-for-all. I have no idea who's going to go. I'm really loving Jonathan. I don't know if he's strategic enough to win this game. I hope Devins and Christian can survive. It's going to get really interesting, and obviously I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'll look forward to a listener feedback and hope that helps me pick my vote-off point. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for your participation. Thanks for the podcast. Bye.
Outstanding. Thanks, Kim.
I'm pretty sure Jonathan and Rick are going to be very excited about the merge.
Yeah. The lifeline they're certainly going to be feeling they need at the time.
Yeah, and certainly I think Vatu is needing a merge as well. So
yeah, the big question is, where's the majority going to come from? That's the tricky part to figure out. Or is it going to be lots of smaller splintered groups. That's a lot of people to get on the same page.
Yes, it is.
But if you got a lot of people doing the Sandra Diaz twine, as long as it's not me, you can rally people together pretty easily if they're of that mindset.
You know, she's known for that, but she's not the only one.
Oh, no, it can be quite effective.
Yes,
She's proven it multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good deal. Thanks again, Kim. Next up, we got a call from Lauri.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. This is Lauri from Southwest Florida calling in with some feedback. I enjoyed most of the episode. Not sure about Jeff Probst and his impressions, as you know, trying to be on a variety show. Last week it was golfing, this week impressions, but it didn't last too long, so it was okay. And what is up with poor Charlie? That can't be the only thing he was saying was about his troubles with Rizzo voting for his not number one, but it just seemed like that's the only storyline we got from Charlie this year. I do like Rizzo more this season than I did last season, probably because he's aligning with Suri, who, you know, if Suri likes him, I gotta like him too, I guess. And I could do without Coach and his knighting the other manly men. I feel like a lot of the women are really getting the short stick on confessionals and us seeing what they're doing. Tiffany did great in the challenge today, and that's like all we know about her. She did good in that challenge. But all in all, it's been a good season. I can't believe they're merging at 17. It's probably going to be some weird twist, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Looking forward to it, and also looking forward to seeing what people think is going to happen next week, because what did Jeff say? It's going to be the most exciting thing, the best thing, a big change. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Thanks again for everything, and we look forward to keeping up with everybody. Bye-bye.
Excellent. Thanks, Lauri. Yeah, I'm going to predict that we'll see a lot more from the women in this next episode, because I'm thinking they're going to take control. I can just see that building.
And that will not surprise me.
And then it'll scare the crap out of all the guys. Good deal. Next up, we got an email from Shahin in Australia.
Hi, Joanne and Stacy. Hope you are both well. A cranky 6-week-old demands written feedback. There isn't much to say about the departure of Angelina. I thought she played the best game she could, and given her circumstances, she couldn't do much more. She had a key alliance member go down, and usually trust issues like what we saw between Ozzy and Christian get hashed out for the good of the alliance. However, last week's exit of Mike looks worse for Christian going into a merge, in my opinion. I just don't think he got enough chips to play with to go deep in the game anymore. And I think he had kept Mike over Emily. If he had kept Mike over Emily, it couldn't have been a key ally to go far with.
It could have been a key.
It could have been a key ally to go far with.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he's taken revenge against the David versus Goliath cast. We're also seeing a much different side to his personality, someone with a cold streak and less of the joyous Christian I remember. I miss that version of him. Does anyone think there's a slight Cochran second time around vibe to how he wants to be perceived in the game? I feel bad for Charlie, but that chip on his shoulder grew exponentially larger as we reached his exit. I fear for Suri being used as an expendable pawn by the New Age players in her new alliance. Unfortunately, I can see Dee and Rizzo going far. They both have charisma and an ability to weave through the smoke and land daggers of their own. Merge at 17? The possibilities are endless. I wonder if they'll do an individual challenge, have 2 idols available for a male and female, and then have one voted off before being officially merged. Curious to see how that goes. Finally, I forgot my picks for JSFL. Cleo's gonna take the blame for making Dad miss this one. Cheers.
Way to go, Cleo. Good one.
All right, Sheen, thank you. Up next, we have a call from Joe.
What can I say? My understanding of the game really sucks. I've not gotten a single vote off point, nor can I figure out who is truly on the chopping block. The only thing I know is if the person you think will be voted off is identified as a candidate early in the episode, you know you picked wrong. Yes. Hello, Joanne and Stacy and all Survivor fans. This is Joe from Huntersville. I need your help. Where is this going? I tried to graph out the alliances as they form into one huge merged tribe, but it doesn't make sense. Where is everyone going to sleep? Are they going to be competing for individual immunities? Will there be 14 members of the jury? So, looking at the alliances, 3 names stick out: Genevieve, Jonathan, and Camilla. I can't associate them with any main alliance. Also, Kobe is still missing his vote. What did Jeff mean that tonight will really change the game? How? On a lighter note, I hope the mischievous duo Christian and Devins gets back together. Do you think their fake idol will ever play out soon? Oh well. That's all I have. Joanne and Stacy, thanks for all you do. This is Joe, signing off.
Excellent. Thanks, Joe.
Well, I don't know, but...
You don't know
with the alliance of Sari, Dee, Camilla, Rizzo, Tiffany is with Camilla and Dee. Mm-hmm. And...
could bring Aubrey.
Maybe, what about Genevieve? Were they close to her or no? Maybe Genevieve.
Well, Genevieve started out on Vatu. She got switched to Kahlo.
And I don't know. I think Emily could flip to if there was an all-women alliance. I don't think Stephanie would.
I think that's where Christian's going to be happy. He's still got a connection through Emily.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you're going to need Emily to talk to the other women if that's possible. If she can get in there and get some information.
Yeah. Let's see, how many women are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, they are the majority if you had them all.
Yeah, doesn't seem likely given that Chrissy and Dee and Camilla and Tiffany weren't on the same page initially, but it could be a possibility.
Yeah, well, it will be exciting to find out, but you could also have a great alliance. Coach Colby and Joe, if they've got Chrissy now, if they pulled in, I don't know if they pull in.
They've got Genevieve,
but
yeah, they've got Stephanie.
Yep.
More than likely. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Stephanie I think will, and I don't know. Maybe she'll pull Ozzy through with her if she can. They can connect with Colby. But
Jonathan will come back to them more than likely.
Yeah, I think definitely Jonathan will, and Rick may try to as well. So.
Yeah, it's fun looking at the possibilities there.
Yeah.
Totally get why you're confused, Joe. We're in the same boat.
Well, but, we'll talk about it. Let's go ahead and listen to everybody else.
All right. Next up, we got a call from Johnny.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor fans, it's Johnny from Wisconsin calling here, and I'd say that was a pretty decent episode. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot going on, but at the same point, it was a lot of edge-of-your-seat drama, especially from the perspective of those on the bottom. I really would have loved to see Rizzo go home with an idol in his pocket. That would have just been oh so sweet, but I'm not upset about Charlie going. He was going to destroy everybody's game that had any good value, so that's fine. You can get him out. Rizzo will save for another time. But then on the other vote, Christian being on the bottom, we got his perspective for sure. Ozzy was running the vote, but we really didn't get to see the strategy of Ozzy. Did he have any? I mean, for all we know, Ozzy could have been voting Angelina the entire time, but the opportunity of seeing Christian on the bottom, he could have been just leveraging it, trying to get that shot in the dark from Christian, even though he wasn't even going to vote him the whole time. That would have been brilliant if we could have saw more of that behind the scenes. Now that he's holding on to that, maybe the biggest twist of the season is something to do with your shot in the dark, and that would have been something Christian could not have calculated, but could face a lot of fallout for that. But maybe this hopefully makes Christian less of a threat because he doesn't have his shot in the dark. I don't know, just wishful thinking. Looking ahead to the 17 players that are remaining, it seems we've got a good core four with the Sari, Rizzo, Dee, Camilla, but then also could tie in with Ozzy. Ozzy could be in with Stephanie, Colby, Coach, and Joe. Maybe they tag Christy along. And then Christian's Emily, Devin's Aubrey, brings along Tiffany. That leaves 2 people completely on the outs, in my opinion, being Genevieve and Jonathan. Those 2 seem to have no real alliance yet at all, and I could see each of those being targeted very soon after this individual portion starts. Although I do like your idea, maybe they do a quick 8 and 8 with that extra 9th person being able to maybe pick a group of 8 to ride with, but not actually have to compete. I could see something like that happening again, even though they're technically merged. They might just unmerge them just as fast. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, right now I'm leaning toward either Genevieve or Jonathan getting a lot of votes, or both. So yeah, looking forward to what everyone else has to say, and I'm pretty stumped also what else could change the game potentially at night. I guess we'll see. See you guys.
Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, that's such a interesting thing for Probst to say. I mean, every tribal council essentially changes the game, right? It takes one off the board. So
yeah,
maybe it's just that simple. Who knows what the blood moon's going to bring? Good deal. Next up, we got a call from Justin.
Hey, Joanne and Stacy and all the Survivor superfans. It's Justin from Michigan. So I really liked this episode. I thought it was a bounce-back episode. I liked that only one tribe was safe. I think they probably should have done that at least 1 or 2 times previously so that we're not going into the merge with 17, but better late than never. I really like how they're doing it this season with the stages of the challenges where everybody participating has to have a role. You can't really have one person carry you. Everybody has to play their part. And then also that not every challenge is ending with a puzzle. We have some of these elements where the hero stage is something a little different, takes a little dexterity. So I enjoy mixing that up. I don't like every single challenge ending with a puzzle. Give these other elements a chance to shine. So the way that it all shook out, I mean, Angelina wasn't giving much this season, or at least they weren't editing her this season. So I was fine losing her. I initially was hoping Rizzo would go, but to be honest, he's kind of winning me over now. I mean, 49, yeah, it was a little annoying. I thought it was inferior people he was playing with is why he did so well. But now he's playing with all-stars, and if he can win Sari over instead of her targeting him, he has to be doing something right. As much as I had those preconceived notions of him, I kind of have to turn those around. If he can do it 2 seasons in a row and once with all-stars, got to start giving him some credit. Looking forward, this will be interesting how this all shakes out. I've seen a lot of theories. They're going to merge and then split up into groups like they have in the past. I would honestly, if they're going to merge, I would love one huge super vote. Have 2 or 3 win individual immunity and then one huge battle royale vote. I would love that, to see all the different groups. For my vote off, I'm just going to go with what I want to happen. There's really no clues in the editing that this would happen, but I'm going to have Joe as my vote off. The way that I kind of massage that into existence is if anybody notices that Coach Colby and Joe are all working together, and most likely those 3 are eventually going to pull in Jonathan, you got to get one of those out. Those are 4 strong men, and take out the one that's least likely to budge on anything. So that's what I would do. If I was on the outside of that, I would be targeting them. Other people that I think could, be in trouble, probably Christian. Colby, possibly instead of Joe. He did have the confessional, his foot was hurting, hopefully. And then this challenge, there's a perch challenge where you have to stand on something. So he's going to, if he even attempts it, he's going to be out early. If he does attempt it and further injures his foot, hopefully not a medevac, but that's kind of on the table. Other than that, I'm looking forward to what everyone else has to say, because this could go any which way.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. It definitely could. There's a lot of possibilities to consider. I was just looking at the roster while I was listening to Justin. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Colby doesn't have a vote.
Oh.
So he's not going to be able to offer
I forgot that.
anything. And the Women's Alliance, it looks like it's got a Rizzo vote. So that's 10 for them potentially, or a 9 with leaving Chrissy out if the bad blood is still there.
Well, but I was going to wait till the end.
Thanks again, Justin. Next up, we got an email from Josh the Plush Moose from Massachusetts. Dear Joanne and Stacy, this episode was kind of flat as both of the Ozzy and Charlie stories were one note and played out. I'm looking forward to the merge, but I think that some of the tribe-strong recent players are in for a rude awakening. when they come face to face with all of the pregame alliances. My other observations: Ozzy's a team player. He wants to be included in decisions so he can play the team. Maria didn't collect the winner's purse on season 46, but she gets a steady income from subletting the space she occupies in Charlie's head. It did seem that way. I'm impressed that Ozzy can indulge in quiet meditation while wearing such a loud poncho. I wish Survivor 51 would bring back this cast without any memory of their traumas from prior seasons. It could be called Survivor Severance. Oh, nice. Very well done there. Laid back Ozzy plotting Christian's downfall brings new meaning to the expression chillin' like a villain. Rick wants to be a passenger on the Kahlo train. He's heard great things about their dining car. The Tide Walker, the Stone Bell Monk, and the Oakbound Warrior are the charter members of Coach's Knights of the Round File. Tiffany and Aubrey found a conch. Genevieve wants to conch Aubrey. I probably said that wrong, huh? I can never remember how to pronounce conch.
No, it's conch.
Okay, yeah, but anyway. Coach's ego is so massive that it generates a field and makes people gravitate towards him. Rizzo sleeps in the boat as an homage to One World's Leaf sleeping in the box. The other tribe's big reaction to Mike being gone translated to, there go our White Lotus cameos. Rizzo tailored.
Yeah, that was probably what's wrong with Ozzy.
Rizzo tailored his social game to give Charlie a swift exit from the tribe. Well done. Colby having a confessional about his injured foot doesn't bode well for the future of his game. Joe was gassed getting to shore and looked groggy. Maybe Jonathan stepped on a duck again. Christian should have given Tiffany a yippee-ki-yay for the way she twirled that rope like a lasso. I think that Devins learned to flex his guns by watching SNL's Hans and Franz. Charlie's game was too slow for Camilla. Her bus needs to stay on schedule. Ozzy's last blind side was a decade ago. If he doesn't want to break that streak, he should have stayed home. The real reason Charlie got voted out is that he objected to the marriage of Rizzo and Cerie. South Park fan Christian called Ozzy a polyprissy pants. He doesn't respect Ozzy's authority. Rapping, impressions, Jeff, no matter what you roll out, you're not invited to their talent show. My anodyne opinion is that Christian should come with a translator. Yeah, I didn't know that one either. Ozzy says he has the power. Is he He-Man from Castle Is he He-Man from Castle Numbskull? I predict that Angelina's jacket will appear in more confessionals than she did herself. Wouldn't that be a hoot? That'd be great. Rizzo says he's playing with house money. Hopefully it's not Monopoly money. Charlie said that blindsides are fun to do, but not to receive. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Next time, drop your buffs. It's a merge at 17, and Dark Jeff says tonight will forever change the game. Are we getting a merge fire challenge, where the first 11 to make fire get to stay in the game? Ooh, I like that one. That's good. Anyway, that's it for me for now. Thanks, Joanne and Stacy, for all you do. I can't wait to hear what the other fans have to say. Stay safe, everybody. Good job, Josh. Next up, we got a call from Jeremiah.
Hello, Joanne and Stacy and Survivor friends. Jeremiah here with some feedback for this episode. An episode with two boots, which are always exciting to watch. Now, when it comes to the Angelina boot, honestly, I'm not too surprised. She's a lovely person. She was very entertaining on her first season. I can understand why she came back. But let's face it, she's not that great of a player. And I think probably in the end what it came down to is they probably couldn't get Emily on board with voting out Christian. So I think that's probably what saved Christian at this moment. Now, I was definitely more upset about the Charlie boot, especially since I would rather have him stay than keep on going with the Riz story. But let's give a little credit to Rizzo. There's something about his demeanor. I don't know if it's because he's so young and maybe people just don't take him that seriously. That's always been my theory. I felt like if he made it to the finale in 49, I don't think he would have won the money because I just don't think they take this guy too seriously, but he does have a way to convince people. So there's something there about his personality that does work very well with Survivor. And for whatever reason, they would rather work with him. Now, I also think Charlie's biggest problem going into this was the fact that everyone said he was one of the most dangerous players out there. I think he was kind of dead in the water the moment he walked on that beach, unfortunately. So I hate to see him go, but I'm not too surprised. Now, of course, what is going to happen next week, right? We're hearing a lot of hyperbolic language from Jeff there in that preview, that this is going to change the game forever. Who knows for sure what that means? I have no idea. Maybe just changing the game forever, having 17 people at the merge. I don't know. Who knows what this guy's talking about? Now, when I've done a little research online and looking to try to see what previews we've gotten so far, I know Jeff mentioned something about Blood Moon or something like that. I don't know what that means. But it does look like we're going to have maybe some version of what we've had before when it comes to the mergatory thing. Looks like they are going to break them up in groups again, which at 17 is not an even number. Some people think it might be 2 tribes and 1 person will have to sit out. In fact, some people are thinking maybe Exile Island will come back into play, which would make sense as we haven't seen it, that maybe some people might go to Exile Island who aren't part of the 2 groups. And it will probably maybe lose 2 people. So that means we have to really think about which groups or which alliances are even going to stick together. Is the Integrity Alliance with the boys, are they going to have an impact? Will the D and Sari and Rizzo and all them and Camilla, will they have an impact? Players that I'm really worried about, I'm definitely worried about Christian. I still think Genevieve is on the list of people to worry about to be voted out. Or even like an Aubrey, but she has an idol. I think she's smart enough to use it. So it'll be interesting to hear what you all think is the biggest targets, because I think that's probably what's going to happen in the merge. Whoever is the biggest target is the one who's going to go home. And those are some of the names I've got. And that's it for me. You all take care. Until next time, this is Jeremiah from Southern California.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeremiah. A lot to think about there as usual.
I'm kind of leaning a little bit in that direction, but I have just slightly different
What's that?
theory.
What direction?
Okay, that there's gonna do either draw rocks or draw rocks for colors, or somehow schoolyard pick.
Split into
They're going
teams.
to split into 3 teams.
Okay.
And either 2 people get sent to exile, or for some reason to do something. I have no idea. Or there will be, 2 will have 6 players, 1 will have 5. But that they will compete within that. 3 people will be going home. They will send them to tribal in however they're chosen.
What if the big group has to vote out 3 people?
Well, that could be true too. They could all go.
Because the easy path is to have 3 different groups go.
Yeah.
And each vote out 1.
And everybody votes. And I think that would be
for
harder.
all 3.
Because
3 times.
if they only have an option for, the smaller groups, and they have to vote out someone within that 5, that group has to vote out someone within your, however you got divided up. And you can only vote for the people in your group.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's let that simmer a little bit. We'll circle back to that.
All right.
Thanks, Jeremiah. Good stuff. Next up, we got a call from Jen.
Hi, everyone. This is Jen in California, and here are my thoughts on Survivor 50, Episode 5. Well, what I've been doing, since there are so many players that are well-known and 90 minutes of showtime, I watched the show one time through on Wednesday night. Then on Thursday sometime, I will rewatch and take notes, and that way I'm ready to participate in the listener feedback. But this episode, I gotta admit, I just couldn't bring myself to go back and watch it. Charlie is the first elimination that really got me down. I had such high hopes for him. I really loved his gameplay when he played the first time. I don't know, he's just such a likable guy. I was looking forward to seeing him play, and to have him go out early, it's just very disappointing. But it happens. It's going to happen more. There's a lot of lovable players and likable players here. But this one really stung. I was enjoying watching Sari play. I initially was thinking, at one time too many, but now I'm back to feeling that. I'm not enjoying Sari. I can't believe that she is all in with Rizzo. D is not my favorite player to begin with, but now I'm doubly mad at D for teaming up with Rizzo. And I guess we'll just go right along and finish off the theme. I loved Camilla. I loved her. She played the game that I wanted to play in Survivor 48 with Kyle. But now I'm just upset with her. I am not a fan of that alliance. And on Kahlo, I don't have much to say about them. As usual, we're just not getting anything really meaty from them other than the Aubrey-Genevieve rivalry. But there was a secret scene with Coach that I found online. Well, it's not really of Coach, but it's several of the tribe mates talking about Coach and how entertaining he is. When you've got nothing to entertain you out there, all you got to do is ask Coach to tell a story. And Colby, Aubrey, and Tiffany talked about just their perspectives on Coach's stories. It's a really good one. I think I found it on Instagram. If you can find it, watch it. It was funny. And finally, Vatu. What a mess. The only tribe that we really know a whole lot about. Too much about. I can't say I was surprised to see Angelina go. But if I'm being honest, I think that getting out a huge player like Christian was a missed opportunity. Now, I don't want that to happen, just like I didn't want Charlie to go, but that could have been very on brand for this tribe to just keep getting the movers and shakers out. And, that's it for me. I didn't go back and watch again, so I don't have many notes. I did like the episode. I'm enjoying the season very much. I'm just a little salty that Charlie's gone. I'm going to miss him. And I also have a very sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach that we're going to be seeing Rizzo for a very, very long time. I'm thinking he's here for the long haul. It's not my most favorite scenario. And with the merge coming up, or what looks like a merge, I have no idea who is ripe for being voted off. I hope it's just one person next week and not two. I hope they don't merge and then split them up and then have like a double vote out or something. Mm-hmm. But let me take a stab. I think the Aubrey Genevieve thing is going to blow up right away. They've been alluding to this for weeks, just like the Charlie and Rizzo thing, and I think it is the time for one of them. That's all I got. I can't wait to hear everybody else's thoughts. Till next week.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Aubrey plays her idol, and that gives her, that's how she survives.
Yes, she does have an advantage.
Yep, well,
idol.
Yep.
Even though Genevieve didn't send it to her.
Right.
But she has one nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. Well, and according to Q, they knew she did have it, even though they didn't find it when they searched the bag.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see if that does play out that way, if they're pretty confident and they're
they were
feeling
told
like they need to flush it. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jen. Next up, we got a call from Paul.
Hey, Paul, Louisiana here. And yeah, my first thought at the beginning of the episode before the never-ending Survivor player montage and title screen was up was, Ozzy, shut up already. And I just can't decide if I'm disappointed in him or if I'm just embarrassed for him. But he kind of sort of made it up a bit, but only a bit the next day. And I don't think that he cooled down so much as he assessed the situation and ran some damage control. Then we had the declaration of a new coach. Coach 4.0, same as the old 1.0, with super neat nicknames. He doesn't need a software upgrade so much as he needs the hinges on his mouth tightened. And honestly, at first I thought Joe was trying hard not to laugh, but by the end of it all, I think he was kind of sort of into it. But to be honest with you, I kind of lose focus when my eyes roll back in my head as far as they did when Coach kept blabbering on and on and on, so I may have missed things there. And Charlie, that bit where he woke up Rizzo so early in the morning while he was sleeping in his rowboat was just wow. Charlie's been playing a passive-aggressive game with Rizzo, but he seemed to go full-on with that little stunt. I can't help but wonder how Charlie's game might have changed if he stuck around and Rizzo had left. I hope it would have softened him, because all throughout the past two episodes, he just seemed stern and miserable. Well, now Maria has a new pal to hang around with in Charlie's head. And then I'm disappointed in Camilla, who knew something was up with Rizzo's story, but still sided with him in the end. I mean, come on, why did Rizzo wait so long to share his important information about Kyle? It just reeked of bull. And here's something I thought was odd also. Did anyone else notice that Jeff seemed a bit miffed in his tone a few times during the episode? I wanted to go back so I could quote them here, but it's Friday evening and I just didn't get time to do that. And not only is Camilla being bamboozled by Rizzo, but Suri is too. Reciprocation should not be practiced on the Survivor Island. I thought you were a seasoned player. How is Rizzo doing this? Please, please let me see his comeuppance. The sooner the better. And boy, am I surprised that Ozzy and Christian didn't go after one another. And if I were Christian, I would never have given Ozzy my shot in the dark. Instead, I'd have been pitching his name all over, especially when he did hand his shot in the dark over to Ozzy. And I also can't believe Ozzy didn't play his idol. I feel I missed out on something here. So I'm expecting a double vote in our next episode because, let's face it, we've had seasons begin with less people than we have now, and those seasons were split into two teams. All I can say is that I hope the next boat Rizzo decides to sleep in can handle 4 or 5 other people. But you know what? This all just makes me wonder how big our jury is going to be. And yet again, I have no clue who's going to go next, but I can't wait to see this mix of players all come together. I think things are going to get a bit hairy from here on out, not that they haven't been, but I really has no clue as to who will be in a good position after this merge. I do think that Christian may be nearing the end of his game, though. Lastly, 2 quick notes. I'm sorry for anyone being voted out, but at least Angela finally got a chance to eat scallops, because just saying that word makes my mouth water. But can someone please tell me what's with those fake eyelashes that she always has on? I've been meaning to ask about this since the season began. Are they fake, or has she had some cosmetic surgery that I just don't know about? And lastly, way to go, Tiffany. Her bag unraveling skills were the highlight of the episode for me. And I guess that's it for me. Catch you all next week. Bye.
Excellent. Thanks, Paul.
They look enhanced to me, but I don't know all the ways that those things are done because I can't even wear mascara anymore for years. Allergies do not allow me to wear that anymore. And so I don't keep up with that thing. But they do look like they're fake or, there's
maybe
so
genetically
many different
blessed
things. Yeah, she could be.
Yeah.
But, you'd have to have mascara. So, maybe there's some way to do that like they do the eyebrows, either the threading or the tattooing or the whatever, that kind of thing that enhances, because a lot of them do that. Same thing with the lipstick. A lot of them have had their lips done because it's like, no, your lips are not normally pink like that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I don't keep up with it. Though I remembered when Paul was talking, what I had wanted to say to Johnny, he was talking about Ozzy having Christian's shot in the dark. But I don't think they ever intended for Ozzy to keep his shot in the dark. I assumed Ozzy would give it back. That's just the test for that tribal. For Ozzy said, if you give me that,
trust.
I can trust you.
Yeah.
And I feel like he gave it back after.
Yeah, we don't know that
tribal.
though.
We don't. That's true. But I wouldn't think Christian would agree to it any other way. But maybe. What do I know?
So a lot of times when they come together for the merge, they'll come together at 14, right?
Yes.
And then that
usually
14th
13,
person will get voted off and not make the jury.
Yeah.
But then 13 does.
That has been done, I think. But
so we need to knock out 3 to get down to
that's
14.
Why that's what you and I were thinking. What if they do 3? That will be, as far as I know, that hasn't
They'd
been
be back
done.
on track numbers wise?
Yeah.
Roughly?
Well, I don't know if it's full track or not. I hadn't figured all that out. But
so if they were to get rid of 3 and they kept it all in the big group at a tribal council of 17, it seems like that majority, if they could form the big majority, the 9, they would decide who the 3 were. But then when you pick someone that someone else was counting on, that's why they do it, to try to make it a little more equitable, I guess. But the flip,
nobody can control.
Right, so
right
that a big
then,
group
anyway.
couldn't make that big of a decision.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that, too, is that you might choose someone to go that this other person was counting on being there later.
Yep.
And so that'll blow up the big majority. You could lose your numbers and cause splits and cracks to form that way in the majority of 9. So that wouldn't necessarily guarantee that they would make the choice for who the 3 were, but that's probably why they have them split up into 3 groups or 2 groups.
Yeah, so
to make those kinds of decisions.
We have nothing concrete really for thinking that, but
no,
these are just things we were throwing around.
Different ideas, yeah.
It's like, oh no, what if they do this or what if they do that?
Because if only one goes, and that would be interesting to have that big group and to see if everybody could get on the same page. Who would they pick? Who do you think the big group? Let's say there's only one person being eliminated.
I don't know who the big group is yet. So
yeah, we don't know, but let's say there's a majority. It's everyone in one tribal council. That's all I mean by big group. And then they've only got to get rid of one person. Who pops to mind as the potential candidate?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Jonathan's always a candidate. it's merge. Who wants to compete against Jonathan now?
Well, it just depends on what it is. What if there's a string of puzzles? That doesn't do him any good.
Yeah, but there's enough physicality that sometimes you got to get to the puzzles before you can, and if you can't.
Okay, so maybe
so
just
I don't
because of
know.
his sheer physical presence and his prowess and physical challenges, he's on the list.
And I think Christian would be a target because
I think so, too.
everybody knows that, oh, Christian's so smart, he's so smart, but he's likable. So that could, and he's entertaining, which they already have said, hey, we get bored out here. Entertainment's at a premium. So if he's entertaining us, we'll just deal with the rest,
Yeah.
I
Aubrey's been a target for a while.
Yeah, but I almost think that some of the old school players may pull back together, may gravitate toward certain things, but I'm not sure. Like Sari with Stephanie, or back with Ozzy and Rick, and even Sari might want to work with Colby, or I think she would work with Aubrey too. But
Colby really needs that big group. He doesn't need to. He's the one that would least benefit being in a smaller team, smaller tribal council, because he doesn't have his vote.
Okay.
Being in the big group gives him cover.
Here's your big targets. Well, there's Sari, because she's Sari. But there's Dee as a winner. Jonathan is the biggest physical threat.
Right.
Rizzo is the unknown.
Has an idol and unknown.
Yes. Joe, because people know how honest he is and expects his alliance to be, and they don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Let's see. Who else?
Like you'd said before, Christian.
Definitely Christian. Yeah. And maybe even Ozzy, because he's good at challenges too.
And he clashed with Coach.
Yeah.
In that first.
So Coach, I don't think is going to work with him.
Supplies thing. Well, yeah, Coach could bring his big alliance against him.
Yes, and but here's the thing. Then Stephanie's caught because she was working, but she has information about Ozzy too, and could help get him voted out.
Yeah.
And because I think her alliance with Colby is probably
She's headed right back
solid.
there. And the next time on, I gotta believe that's who she was talking to, and talking about how Christian and Emily would lie right to your face.
Well, yes. Okay, here's another influence, is that Colby is injured.
Right.
So does that hurt him, or does it help him that he's not as big a physical threat because he's injured?
Helps him.
And so we're not worried about not being able to beat him over some of the other stronger people. And he's a nice guy. And he's loyal.
He's hanging by a thread. He's got no vote. He's just hoping to get his vote back so he can be a member of an alliance that adds value.
And I just don't think they see him as a big strategic threat.
Sari, just to recap, Sari's got an extra vote that could come into play as alliances form. Rizzo's got the idol. Aubrey's got the idol. Ozzy's got the idol.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where we stand with idols and advantages.
So I would say for this week, definitely Ozzy, Aubrey, and Rizzo aren't going anywhere. Because if they get it all nervous, why wouldn't they play it?
Well, Ozzy's been voted out with an idol in his pocket before, and he's gotten comfortable holding it.
I know.
And going to all these tribal councils now.
But he's playing differently this time.
Okay.
But,
well, it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to finding out what the game-changing event is, too, if that was meant in the general sense of...
Well, you mentioned, we were like, but why would they break into 3 with uneven numbers? And you said, well, maybe 2 go to Exile Island.
Right.
I'm like, but why and what for and when would they come back?
Just available.
How's that going to work? I don't get it. Why would they go there?
Yeah.
Unless they had to do a battle there. And I don't know. I guess that could be, 4th person voted off. One of you doesn't come back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so, though. But we did think, well, that's a way to really get the numbers down all at once and just And it's late enough in the game, that they've at least got to play for 6 episodes.
Uh-huh.
But so I don't know. It's just all up in the air. And so I think the way I will end up, because we're not changing. You can only vote for one person.
Right. We've got nothing that says
We can't change anything if we don't know how to change the website. So we're only picking one person unless they came out and said there was something more. But
which has not happened while we're recording.
Yes. And so anyway, you get to choose one. So I would go with people who, have been not as likable or got tight alliances.
I got one more thing to throw into the mix.
All right, go for it.
Will Genevieve say, hey, so-and-so and so-and-so have idols. If we vote them out, we'll get an idol for our alliance, right?
I don't think that would fly very well.
Ozzy and Rizzo have idols. If we can blindside them, we'll get an idol back for our alliance.
Genevieve can't tell that she found a second idol. She's not told anybody according to her.
Right.
Because she said doesn't want anybody to know that could come back to her.
Right.
Now, they already know because she told everybody. And
about
I'm sure,
Ozzy's.
so they know that one could come back to her. So let's see, who'd she give that to, Ozzy?
First one to Ozzy, second one to Rizzo.
Well, then they could try to pick off Ozzy, just if no other reason, so that she can't get it back. If he
What?
Okay.
That doesn't track.
Well, they could
If
flush
they vote
the
out
idol.
if they vote out Ozzy.
Well, not vote him out, but vote for him, and he plays it in. But the idol gets flushed,
Gotcha.
so that Genevieve can't get it back. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Or what I'm
well,
trying
that's
to
like
say.
another step. Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody supposedly knows about. Even Rizzo doesn't know who gave it to him. He suspects her, but she
should target him?
No, I gave mine to Ozzy. Ask any of my tribe, my old tribe. They know I gave it to Ozzy.
Yeah, but she'll get busted quick because so many on New Sela know that he has it.
They know he has it, but they don't know who sent it. How's that going to get her busted? They don't know who sent it.
That's true. They don't know who to track it back to.
That's why
you'd have to go ask everyone and see how they responded. Yeah.
Because all of the other people know about
Okay,
Ozzy.
pivot to the other idol giver, Christian. Are Christian and Rick going to say, hey, let's vote Aubrey out so we can get that idol?
Christian isn't, because he doesn't want anybody to know that he's the one that found it. So he's going to let Rick
There's
do
going to
what
be
Rick does.
some multiple dimensions of the gameplay because of all this.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
And I think Aubrey is going to really start to play. I don't think Aubrey's been playing so much because I think, number one, I think it was really difficult for her to be out there, not having a strong alliance, leaving her baby. I think that's really affected her. But I'm thinking now that Coach has kind of brought her in, I think she's going to get enough confidence to really try to get in a good alliance. Doesn't mean that it's not too late. They'll target her just because whatever. But I think she has a chance to get in with an older group.
Yeah.
Now, if they
You think
start
Cherie's
breaking
safe?
up, I hope Saria's safe. But there's just no way to know.
You think Rizzo's going to rat her out for having an extra vote?
Not this week.
Okay.
I don't think he'll
I don't
do
think
that
my
this
USB
week.
Christian is safe. I could see him being targeted
No, I don't
for
think
sure.
he's safe either.
He could be an easy target for the big group if it's a if it's the giant tribal council of 17.
Because he is seen as one of the bigger threats. And so is Sarie and probably Dee as a winner. And Rizzo is an unknown. So they could be the top
Christians
four.
are going to get credit for taking those heads down, all those tribal councils they went to. I don't think they're going to give it to Emily and Ozzy. So it's where Christian went.
Or Stephanie.
All those people went left.
But Colby will believe what Stephanie tells him.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Then she'll tell him the truth.
Oh,
So
exciting. Looking forward to Wednesday, huh?
it's just that whole, this is something that's never been done. And
Yeah,
the most outrageous thing I could could think of was they're going to break up, because they love doing that after they merge. Break up into tribes and
tiny tribes.
Yes.
Yeah. Tiny
or
teams.
At least 2, but I'm thinking, well, they
Could
still
be
got
3.
enough to do 3.
Could be 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So who knows?
Hey, we want to say a big thank you to everybody who took time to send in your thoughts and your predictions this week. Give us all these great ideas to consider as we head into the game-changing episode on Wednesday. We loved hearing from you and appreciate the work that you put in there. We also want to say a big thank you to Laura, Hope, and Pat for your donations. We greatly appreciate your support, helping with our operational costs in the podcast. That goes a long ways. Thank you all so much for that.
And if you're playing in JSFL, remember to make your choice for vote out. Choose one person and 4 people who you think will still be in the game at the end of the episode and will be safe.
Back on Wednesday with the recap.
Oh my goodness. That's even almost harder. You can finally choose someone as your vote off, but then you got to choose the 4 safe. That's even harder. You have
Who's in the best possible position?
I hadn't even put a lot of energy into thinking
Who
that
are the
yet.
4 lowest threat profile people? All right.
Well, I'd been voting on how many I had left, but anyway, how many times I'd chosen them, but we'll see. All right. Well, I can't wait for Wednesday night.
Yeah.
So we'll see you back here then.
Have a good one.